It's true, the Evergreen State has been ranked as the best state in America to live as a millennial, according to new rankings by personal finance website WalletHub. In this video, we'll talk about why we think Washington State is the perfect place for millennials and who beat it out. So before we go further, what age group qualifies as millennials?
Anyone born between 1981 and 1996, so ages 26 to 41 is considered a millennial. And anyone born from 1997 onward is part of Gen Z. With a population of about 80 million, millennials make up 43% of home buyers and most of any generation, and that's an increase from 37% last year, according to the NAR. And according to personal finance website WalletHub, Washington State ranks #1 as the best state in America to live as a millennial.
That's right, but why Washington, you ask? Well, #1, the average earning growth in the state is the biggest nationwide at over 39%, which comes out to over $7,000 per month on average. Washington State has many high-paying jobs available in different industries. It's home to the city of Seattle, one of the world's biggest technology company hubs. Some of the companies headquartered here are Microsoft, Amazon, Boeing, and Starbucks, just to name a few.
Seattle and its surrounding cities have a booming economy and job market. With an unemployment rate under 3% as of June 2019, Seattle is one of the best U.S. cities for young people to find employment. Those in their 20s and 30s are in their prime working and career building years. So choosing a city that will allow them to grow professionally is a must. Seattle's economy is thriving for a young person looking to build a career. So Seattle's a great choice.
Reason #2 is that millennials love Washington's mild climate and coastal scenery. Located on a body of water called the Puget Sound, Seattle has a bit of a San Francisco vibe. The piers downtown are popular social destinations, and most every city near a body of water offers all kinds of outdoor and water recreation. As a millennial myself, I can tell you that we love going out on the boat and cruising the waters of Lake Washington from time to time, but nothing beats cruising around Damon Point in Ocean Shores and looking for whales, sea lions, and lots of pelicans.
Washington earns its nickname as the Emerald City for thousands of acres of green space spread throughout, even in the urban areas. Offering activities ranging from kayaking, paddleboarding, and sailing in the Sound and local lakes, to biking, hiking, and exploring nearby national parks and forests, Washington is a playground for nature lovers. Also, most of the residents place a high value on the environment, which is also a draw for millennials with an environmentally friendly mentality. By the way, if you're liking our video, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
#3, it's bike, pedestrian, and transit friendly. Conscious of its eco footprint, Seattle has solid options for alternative commuting. Also, Washington State is proud to have been named the #1 most bike-friendly state in the nation 8 years in a row. This year, though, they came in third, with Oregon and Massachusetts in the lead. Washington is a great place to go for a walk. Seattle is ranked as the 8th most walkable large city in the U.S. Seattle's a great city to explore on foot. And depending on your area of the city, you may have access to good public transit options and bike lanes for your commute.
Sports and community events. Washington State is home to 7 professional sports teams, as well as dozens of minor league teams. Seattle has every pro sport covered, including football with the Seahawks, baseball with the Mariners, basketball with Seattle Storm, hockey with the Thunderbirds, and the Sounders for soccer. They even have an all-female roller derby squad called the Raz City Roller Girls. We are big Seattle Seahawks fans, so we love taking the light rail to Lumen Field for games in the fall. It has a reputation of being the loudest stadium in the NFL, with thousands of Seahawks fans screaming all at once. There's really nothing like it.
This next one may not come as a surprise, but Washington has some of the best coffee around. Coffee culture was born here back in the 60s when people wanted to seek shelter from the dreary, wet weather and have conversations in cozy coffee houses. And of course, Starbucks was born here 50 years ago. Seattle is also the birthplace of Tully's, Seattle's Best, and lots of other artists and roasters.
The Washington State History Museum even has an exhibit called Steins, Vines, and Grinds, which documents the long history of beer, wine, and coffee in the region. If you didn't know, Washington is now number 2 in the nation in annual wine production. Even though Washington's largest vineyards are in eastern Washington, there is a stretch of wine country just 30 minutes outside of the city in Woodinville. And that makes for a perfect day trip for millennials, but it's really something that all generations enjoy.
Washington State wine has been on the radar for quite some time, but the recent boom in craft and microbreweries has now put Washington on the map for beer lovers as well. In fact, Washington is second only to California in the number of craft breweries per state.
For work opportunities, access to majestic outdoor spaces, no income taxes, and moderate year-round temperatures, Washington is hard to beat. It's no surprise it made number 1 on the list. If you're a millennial living in Washington, what do you love about it most? Drop a comment down below.
So who did Washington beat out? The runners-up were Washington, D.C. at number 2, Massachusetts at number 3, Utah at number 4, and the worst states for millennials to live in were New Mexico, West Virginia, and in last place, Mississippi.
If you or anyone you know is interested in buying property anywhere in Washington, send us an email. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.